After calling out his team and then struggling to get going himself while they rallied around him and reeled off 3 wins on the bounce, Anthony Edwards finally found his stride and put the Golden State Warriors to the sword last night. Now we know that Ant can rip the heart out of any defense with his scoring package, but it's always noteworthy when he pairs that with his playmaking, because if Ant ever becomes a consistently above average floor general, especially with the way defenses are blitzing him every night, then the league is in some serious trouble. The 9 assists in the box score were nice to see in this game, even nicer considering it's just the 10th time he's hit 9 or more dimes in a game in his career, but this game was chock full of encouraging playmaking tape and it's worth combing through. Like I said, teams are aggressively blitzing Edwards on almost every possession right now. So whether he uses the screen here or not, they're sending 2 to the ball, with Curry coming off McDaniels and tagging down on Gobert, and Ant needs to continue finding McDaniels in the slot like that for open looks. Now McDaniels has to make these shots for this to really work, but when teams are sending the low man all the way over to help and using McDaniels as man to roam off him and cover that helper, Edwards can be the catalyst that generates open shots for his team, and we saw that in a bunch of different ways throughout this game. So we saw him draw in that double and fling that pass over the top before, but he's also got to mix it up and attack this trap if this defender is a step slow getting up there. That's attracting another body as the low man steps over, and it's swing to the corner, swing to the slot, and the Timberwolves will live with an Alexander Walker open 3 every day of the week. I think the variety of passes and thought processes really stood out in this game. This time Draymond and Buddy are a fraction late on the rotation to Gobert, so he threads that needle with the pass. That creates a perfect swing situation again, but Julius Randle marches to the beat of his own drum and it ends in a turnover, but you can see the process working regardless of the result there again. Really, this is all just about Edwards' gravity as a scorer and using that gravity to put the defense into rotation. When he attacks off the catch here, Draymond has to step up as the roamer at the rim, Looney can't commit off the corner, and Edwards doesn't need a spectacular playmaking gift to find the open shooter and punish Golden State's rotations. And sometimes Ant does make things look a little messy, but again you can tell he's thinking the game and learning to manipulate these defenses. When he backs away from the double here, he's stretching the defense as far as he can, making those recovery rotations longer and more difficult, and when it's well defended and they try again, he goes around the trap, again doing as much as he can to open up this area of the floor for McDaniels when he catches and attacks. That's really well defended, but it's hard to cover off all bases if Edwards is making the right pass out of that blitzing coverage. And it's not just Golden State's defense. All teams are hurling so many bodies at Edwards on any given possession right now, they just need him to make the right decisions. There's always one waiting for him in help off the drive, there's another waiting behind that, and because Steph is backing away to cover the corner, he slips that bounce pass into Gobert and he draws the foul at the rim. That's what I mean by making the right decisions. Other times drawing the defense and then bypassing the big man to the 2-on-1 perimeter look is the right decision to make when the defense is collapsing in on him. And the thing we've seen so much of this season is that sometimes, rather than constantly ploughing his way through the teeth of the defense, the best option for Edwards is to pull up from deep before that trap can close in around him. That's how he provides a release valve for his own scoring punch against these kind of defenses. But the fully formed version of Anthony Edwards can punish you both ways. Again, he's stretching Golden State to the max here, knowing that if he can get off it and forcing them into rotation, he's going to get the ball back, then he curls around that second trap, that forces the low man all the way over, and then he can make the right decision to laser it to the corner and find Mike Conley in his sweet spot. And as much as he broke Golden State's spirit in this game with his scoring, his flurry of playmaking forays in the final minutes of the game was really impressive. So he's reading Draymond again here. He steps up to the ball. That opens up the pocket pass. Now they've got Golden State in rotation again. Ant finds Naz Reid wide open in the corner, and that's another great look that stems from Edwards' ability to shift the defense around. If you can use Draymond and the way he roves around the court causing havoc against him, you can puncture this Golden State defense, and Edwards did a perfect job of it all night. You see Draymond coming across here to show a body, he spins away from that help, and then finds Gobert without a defender on him for another trip to the line. This time he's working off the ball, he's curling around the handoff and away from those chasing defenders. Green has to step up, and it's an easy lob finish behind him. Now the reason that these games are noteworthy from Edwards is because it isn't the norm. He's always going to have a bag of tricks to get buckets on aggressive defensive coverages, but he makes it virtually impossible to defend him and the Timberwolves as a whole when he can pair a 30-point night like this with a full complement of playmaking highlights. At some point this needs to become more of a trend than an anomaly, but you can see in games like this that the seed is starting to grow. Thanks again for watching Howls and Growls. Please subscribe for more.